Hello everyone, I'm Am, welcome back to TechBlock. Today we're doing a video all about the upcoming PC build that we are beginning next month. Not entirely sure if we're going to be finishing it next month though, as the availability of the RTX cards is it's weird. The one I want is currently out of stock and I don't know when it will be back in stock. And on top of that, I'm not entirely sure which RTX card I kind of want. So at the moment, I'm kind of leaning more towards the EVGA cards. So the one I want is the RTX 2080 Ti FTW3. I'm buying this out of my own money, I think. Yeah, this is a very nice card, very powerful. You know, it'll kind of be future-proof. It's stupidly expensive though. That's the main problem with the 2080 Ti. It's just so expensive, and the fact that I'm buying this out of my own money, god damn. So there's a chance that I may step down to like a 2080 that is, more reasonably priced, but at the same, well, this one's actually in stock, so that's good. Or maybe even like a 2070 from EVGA. So yeah, kind of like a bit hesitant, I guess, on which card I want, mainly because of budget and the actual availability of the RTX cards right now. So chances are what I'm going to be doing is, because I kind of want, the high-end card, I may postpone buying an actual graphics card till probably December, if not like late November, until, I get paid again. So yeah, we'll see what happens with the cards. But one thing's for sure is that early next month, if not the middle of next month, we will begin building the new PC, and that's going to include an AMD Ryzen 7 2700X CPU. Very excited for this one, as I currently own an i7 4770 CPU, non-case, so it can't even be overclocked. And yeah, my NZXT liquid cooler in there. It's kind of just for looks, because I don't need a liquid cooler cooling that CPU really, So finally we'll be putting that liquid cooler to test, I guess, as we'll be cooling, a much higher wattage CPU, or just a much more powerful CPU in general. The 2700X CPU, like, I'm so excited about this, as this will make rendering videos, just editing videos, and just everyday tasks probably feel so much faster. And yeah, it's gonna be so much fun just having a better CPU. And I'm very curious to see how being on AMD will be for me, as I've never owned any AMD products, I believe. I don't think I've had any AMD graphics cards, nor have I had any AMD CPUs either. I've pretty much just stuck to Intel for the majority of the years, I guess. I've not owned many like Intel CPUs in general, I guess. Like I think like a Q8800 or something, like some really, really old CPU stored away in my cupboard somewhere. And then I have the i7 4770. So that's kind of the main two CPUs that I remember. I did have like computers like years ago, but I was so little, I honestly have no idea what the specs even were. I was so young, I have no clue what the specifications of those old PCs were. But they were like back in 2004, maybe 2005, so I don't even know what the hell was around back then. But yeah, upgrading to the 2700X CPU will be one hell of an experience. I'm going to definitely be posting like an overclocking video, seeing how far we can push the chip, but I'm not expecting any crazy results, as from what I've seen, I'll probably get it to like 4.4 if I'm lucky. So still, nevertheless, it'll be fun, attempting to overclock it and stuff, as I do have a lot of fun overclocking, even though I've never done it with CPU before, at least not with my own CPU, as I can't overclock my CPU. But anyway, let's move on to the next component here, the ASUS X470 ROG Crosshair Hero 7. Yeah, dope motherboard here. It's got some mixed reviews, I guess. The Wi-Fi one, people have just said like the BIOS is awful, like the board arrives damaged, or just it doesn't even work. So I'm not gonna go with the Wi-Fi one. I'm gonna go with this one instead, as I don't really need a Wi-Fi motherboard anyway. If I do need Wi-Fi, I'll just get like a PCI card for it. But this motherboard is pretty nice. I think it's like probably one of the most high-end motherboards you can get for the X470 platform. So, what better motherboard to go with, ASUS. They make good boards. I've never owned any ASUS motherboard before. I've only owned Gigabyte boards in the past. So, switching to ASUS this time, seeing how that's going to go. And this supports ASUS Aura Sync, and that's one of the main reasons why I'm actually going with like an ASUS board here, as I'm probably going to be getting like quite a few ASUS Aura Sync compatible components in this build as well. Some of which I'll mention in this video, and some of which I'm not entirely sure if I'll be getting them yet. But the I/O for this board is pretty nice. It's got, some audio ports. We have Type-C, we have Ethernet, we have a USB port, 8 USB 3.0 ports, two USB 2.0 ports, one for BIOS, and then we also have like a BIOS button here and like a clear CMOS button, making life easier. You know, if you ever need to clear CMOS, press the button instead of taking out the actual battery. You know, that makes everyone's life easier. But yeah, this has like, you know, the post numbers there, I guess, which never had before. And I'm pretty sure there's also, yeah, this motherboard has a start button on it, which is pretty sick. So yeah, really excited to get this board. Hopefully it arrives, you know, working. And by the way, I think I'll be buying the board and the CPU in the first half of November. 99% sure that's when I'm going to be buying it. And then I'm also buying some wonderful HyperX RAM. Now, not entirely sure if I'll be buying this myself or if me and HyperX are going to work together on this video. Don't know yet, but this RAM is awesome. You may have seen Bitwit's new video. He's doing his Hotline, just a new Hotline 2.0 build, I guess. And he's went with the HyperX RAM as well, as this RAM here is compatible with ASUS Aura Sync, and that is one of the reasons why I'm going with an ASUS motherboard. As you know, ASUS Aura Sync, we can sync up all the RGB and just have, you know, a wonderful time. But this RAM does actually look like very nice in my opinion. You all know I like RGB, and this RAM, you know, it looks very nice, very nice RAM. I would go with Corsair RAM, but from what I've heard, it does not support ASUS Aura Sync. So we're going with HyperX this time, and you know, this RAM looks awesome, and it's DDR4. I'm currently on DDR3, guys. So I need DDR4. I need to know how it feels like to be on DDR4. But anyway, I'm going with 3200 megahertz RAM for the HyperX Predator here, Predator RGB. So yeah, I think 3200 megahertz is, you know, pretty good. I don't want to go with 2933, you know, 3200, or if I can, maybe 3600, but gosh darn, the price goes up so much, so I'm probably going to go with 3200 and just hope for the best. And if I need to, I can maybe possibly overclock the RAM a little bit, you know? But we'll see what happens. We'll see how Ryzen behaves on 3200 megahertz, and I think I'll probably end up experimenting myself with, you know, different memory speed and timings to see what's most optimal, I guess, for, you know, productivity tasks and or gaming as well. So I'll be doing a lot of testing myself for the first time. I've never really done benchmarks on this channel, except from once I did like an SSD benchmark video. But I am finally going to begin, like, you know, doing some benchmarking and stuff on the channel for CPUs, graphics cards, and SSDs, including the XPG M.2 NVMe SSD that is currently in my PC, but it's limited to 10 gigabit on the M.2 port. As my motherboard is so goddamn old, it does not support the full speed of the M.2 drive. So that kind of sucks. But with my new motherboard, I can have, I think, 2 M.2 devices. Yeah, dual NVMe M.2 ports on this motherboard. Gosh darn, that's gonna be nice. Look forward to that. And I'll finally taking advantage of, like, you know, the full speed of my M.2 drive in there from XPG. Thanks guys for actually sending me that. I look forward to, you know, benchmarking it and kind of comparing it against, like, you know, standard SATA 3 SSDs, as I do want to see if there is an actual, like, real world difference between an M.2 NVMe drive and a SATA 3 SSD. So I'll be posting that video once we upgrade, you know, the motherboard and everything else really. So benchmarks for that SSD are coming soon. But yeah, now we have a power supply here as well on Amazon. So I've opened up a bunch of tabs for a few power supplies. Now the reason why I have opened up tabs for power supplies is, in recent videos, you've probably seen that my PC has been having some strange problems. Now, luckily, we are replacing the motherboard, CPU, RAM, and the graphics card. So if we do replace all those components and the problem that we had goes away, then voila, I'll be very happy. But if the problem persists with the strange, you know, power cycling issues and stuff with USB ports, and just, it makes no freaking sense to me. But if that problem persists after we upgrade the motherboard, CPU, and RAM, then that power supply is going out the window, okay? It's gone, as that power supply is clearly, you know, messed up in some sort of way. So we're going to be replacing that power supply if we need to, and I have 3 options here, I guess. We have an EVGA Platinum 1000 watt P2, I guess, you know, very nice power supply. EVGA make very good power supplies, and, you know, they're a trusted brand. So are Corsair. So we have a few options here. Now we have EVGA, Corsair, which is a slightly cheaper option, I guess. So we could go with, like, a, you know, 1000 watt power supply or a 1200 watt power supply, which would probably be, you know, a bit overkill, you know, but whatever really. why not? But yeah, Corsair, EVGA, very trusted brands for power supplies, very reliable. And then we also have this beauty here. So this is the ROG Thor 1200 watt platinum power supply. It looks very nice. And it also has an OLED screen there displaying the current wattage that the power supply is using. But one problem with this power supply though is that if your case has a power supply shroud covering the, the wattage there and all the fancy RGB lighting, that kind of sucks, right? So, not entirely sure if I'll be picking this power supply up. I really want to because it's just so pretty, it's got RGB lighting, and the fact that there's like an OLED screen there displaying wattage is dope as hell. But then you look at the price tag, and the fact that, this probably isn't gonna really like work that well with like most modern cases, because most modern cases have power supply shrouds nowadays. But this power supply is dope as hell in my opinion. It looks so cool. But chances are probably won't be picking this up as the price tag for a goddamn power supply is just, a little bit too much, dude. And one more thing I want to talk about is the PC case that we're gonna be choosing for this new PC build. So we have a few choices. We have the GameMax Chroma case that is currently in my PC, that is currently in my setup. So we could choose to stay with that case, but I probably won't. We have a GameMax Starlight case, which looks pretty cool. We also have a Sharakun Pure Steel ATX PC case that is in my room, but I haven't unboxed it yet. But from what I've seen in the pictures online, that case is very budget friendly, but at the same time, it looks very high quality. So I'll be posting an unboxing video of that PC case in probably the next couple of weeks, so stay tuned for that, as I am genuinely quite interested in like how good that PC case is. And that's pretty much it, I guess, for cases. We have the NZXT H700i, the Sharakun Pure Steel, we have the GameMax Chroma, we have the GameMax Starlight case, and that's pretty much it. I'll leave links to everything I talked about today in the description down below for you guys, so if you're interested in anything I talked about, the cases, the power supplies, the RAM, everything's in the description down below for you guys. So apart from that, thank you everyone for watching as always. I can't wait to do this PC build next month. It's gonna be freaking awesome, finally upgrading this potato PC. So yeah, it's gonna be fun. I look forward to it, and I hope you guys are looking forward to the new PC build as well. And yeah, apart from that everyone, thank you very much for watching as always, and I hope to see you in another video soon. Goodbye.